Hello again. Welcome back to another digital experience customer feedback session here on the Rural Marketing Group YouTube channel, or maybe a clip on LinkedIn, or maybe wherever you are watching this video. I'm Caleb Rural, owner and founder of Rural Marketing Group, and today we are looking at a site that you probably haven't heard of. And the reason for that is because they are an early stage startup. It's called eqtble. I stumbled across them in doing some of the SaaS website research that I'm pulling together. You may have seen me chat about it on LinkedIn a little bit. More to come on that. It is interesting seeing how ubiquitous some things are on SaaS websites and some things that I have learned that I do not like as a buyer, and how I am not enabled by many of the websites out there. Some very common mistakes. Today, however, I'm going to look at eqtble. There's some things I really do like, actually, about some of what they have done. I think there's a few ways that they could improve, so we'll kind of walk through that. This is going to be a fairly quick-hitting video because they have a very streamlined website. We'll get to that in a second. The first place that we start, as usual, is Google. And in this case, brand awareness is key, right? If you are just learning about who eqtble is, the first thing you're going to do, or I would do as a buyer, is I'm going to Google it, or Bing it, or DuckDuckGo it, or whatever your search engine is. I'm going to pop it into a search engine and figure out, what the heck are you? And so right away, I see a miss, right? Actually, which is, I see the title tag here is just the name. It doesn't actually tell me what you do. I see the meta description, eqtble empowers people analysts to become problem solvers instead of endless number crunchers. There could be a play off of the homepage headline here that is short, sweet, to the point, and that fits into that character limit that Google provides, but that also plays on the brand name. So then immediately I know, hey, is this interesting or not? Right now it just says eqtble. So I think that's a slight miss. It's just update the title tag for your homepage. Could be something good. And give you some of that free real estate that Google's putting out there for your branded search terms. As I scroll down, TechCrunch, that's why I know, raised 2.7 million seed in 2021. So again, we're looking at a company that's announced in June. So they're almost 2 years later. It's early 2023 now. The videos looks like they just had launched video 2 weeks ago. So we're very, very early stage with some of their digital presences, right? That 5-minute video, actually, they need to rename. I will say that they have a demo video on their website, and this just says 2.0, right? It needs to maybe say a product walkthrough, demo video, something like that. So always give as much information up front as possible, because it's going to show up in different ways across different channels, right? In this case, what's this 5-minute video? It tells me absolutely nothing by the title, so I'm not inclined to click on it. You might want me to click on it, though, so maybe just a quick title update in YouTube. But not, overall, a couple of small tweaks that it could be stronger. But let's assume, hey, I've heard of them before. I want to actually look at their website. So we pop over to their website, and here we go. I like this. Number one, punchy headline: transform people data, enable business decisions. Gets to the point, makes me want to read what this is. It's short, sweet, to the point. One primary call to action as well. See it in action. My eyes are drawn to headline, and then bam, right there to see it in action. The blue is filled in. We have a secondary call to action in the top right with get started, but my eyes aren't really drawn to that. And actually, if you look at the URLs, it'll pop up. It'll be itty bitty for you, but it's actually the same URL for both of these. I really like the trusted by industry leaders being above the fold. Everybody has a logo strip. I get that. But it is, I think, one of those things that you're looking just to check the box mentally. That's one thing that I'm noticing as I'm looking at dozens of SaaS websites is everybody has a logo strip, but there is almost an expectation that you're supposed to have a logo strip. So I wonder if, having it something like this, where it's sort of blended in, you're not drawn to it, but it's like, hey, check the box, move on. I do think there's a foundational understanding of how the logo strip works in terms of social proof and buying journeys. So I appreciate all of that. I also like the menu. It is streamlined. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options, and no drop downs. I have a whole rant queued up that I'm not going to go into about drop downs and mega menus. Just get me to the things that are the most important to equip me. And that's what landing pages are for, right? If I click on the solutions, it should just let me get to the subsection within the solutions part of your website that I'm most interested in. Don't have me filter through a menu, and there's some very convoluted menus out there. So I do appreciate this. I also like the fact that pricing right up front, and integrations is a page that is also right up front. Integrations, how easily will your technology integrate with my existing tech stack, is a huge consideration for buyers out there. And so giving me that information front and center, not buried on the homepage, but actually in the menu and not buried in an overly complex menu, is, I think, very, very good. So lots of small things that I think make a very good first impression when I come to the website. So let's scroll down. A demo video. What happens? So I mentioned earlier that 5-minute video was the demo video, and that is the 511. My face is in the way, but so Equitable 2.0 there that is. So it is an ungated demo video. Good. Right? We've seen on some other websites, why would you gate this, right? You're just trying to introduce your product. I do wonder if, looking at this, is the click really necessary? I suspect you're tracking something in your analytics to justify the button click. I don't know if that's necessary at all. I think it's a click that you don't need. I would just embed it. We see it's on YouTube. Just embed the YouTube video on the page right there and just let me get to the video without that extra click. But I do appreciate the fact that the demo video is front and center, because that's what I want, and it's ungated as well, so no unnecessary barriers. And then we talk about, okay, what you do a little bit. I might want a headline here that helps me transition into, okay, what the heck am I looking at? Customizable data stories. I think that maybe could be reworked a little bit to be, okay, what's the pain that you're trying to solve here? Why do I, as a buyer, care about customizable data stories, right? Narrative, not, maybe I would rewrite it, narrative, not numbers, to that effect, because I think that's the point you're trying to get to, right? Leaders are looking at data, but there has to be the narrative around that data. Share data and collaborate. So I guess, again, you're telling me the what, not necessarily getting to the pain. The pain's hidden right here, actually. No more endlessly updating spreadsheets and taking screenshots. That should be in the headline. I think that could be a little more pain-based. Maybe just make this that first sentence the headline, and then kind of reverse. Scroll down. One source, one definition, one truth. Again, I get what you're going for. I do think it could be a little punchier, a little punched up based on pain. I do like having testimonials. Always good to have testimonials, and I'm in agreement with some other people out there in the SaaS marketing space who is saying, look, everybody has a logo strip. Testimonials are what moves the needle. I think this is too far down on the page. I think this is buried. Lots of people who come to your homepage will not scroll down this far. They will not have scrolled 2 or 3 times, or even more, depending on how it appears on mobile, right? I'm on a desktop device, so I have more width. I think that demo video up top could actually be presented in a 2-column format. You could have a couple of your most impactful testimonials right next to your embedded YouTube video for the demo video, because you want to convince me to watch the video. Those testimonials might be able to do that. Maybe it's the CEO here, Etsy head of talent operations, I think would be a strong one. GoFundMe head of recruiting, or WeWork senior manager. There's 2 or 3 really strong ones. I would want to pull significantly higher on this homepage to convince people to spend 2 or 3 more minutes of their time investigating the content that you have. And then we have our standard CTA. So overall, though, the initial impression that I get from the top of the page is good. I think there's maybe a few tweaks that could be made. So let's click see it in action. Let's see, okay, one CTA, what does it do? And this, I'm a little, I guess I'm a little let down by this. See it in action. I'm not seeing it in action at all, actually. I'm getting a sign-up form. So see it in action, I think, is good in terms of what the button says on the homepage, but that's actually not what happens, right? I'm filling out a form to get started. And what happens if I fill this out to get started, right? Do I actually get into the platform? So I think that could maybe be, there's a little bit of a miss there in terms of what the button says and what you're actually asking me to do. So I think that could be tightened up or explained better maybe on this page, because this is your getting started page, right? Let's pop over to the pricing page. Pricing is on the pricing page. That's all you really need to know. Get started with core, get started, get in touch. Okay, fine. What happens if I get in touch? Okay, so it goes back to the get started page again. So if you are asking for a form, I do like the fact that it is 3 fields, We don't have 9, we have 3. You are literally going for the bare minimum. Your work email, perfect. You can infer lots of data from that, right? Just do a little homework on LinkedIn, or look into one of your data warehousing providers like a ZoomInfo, and you can kind of pull together what you need going into that discovery call. All packages include, that's good. So I'm sure this page will be built out as well. Some of these pages, you could tell, right? This is an early stage startup, and that's okay. We're going to see a few gaps here and there. I'm not gonna read too much into it. I do want to pop over to the integrations page that's here. I love the fact, again, that integrations is front and center. So now request access. So your CTAs are also not consistent across the board. What am I doing, right? Okay, so this tells me I'm actually asking for you to give me access to the tool. That's different than getting started or seeing it in action. So none of the CTAs are actually consistent, and that needs to be updated. What actually happens if I click get started and fill out that form, right? Am I getting access to the tool immediately? Am I having to go through a discovery call process? What is it? So there may be a gap there, but I do like the fact that, okay, we list up front what the integrations are. Now, I will say with integrations, there is one thing I'm looking for, right? And it's not just, do you integrate with my tool? It is, how do you integrate with my tool, right? If I'm using ADP or if I'm using Google Sheets, how deep is that integration? How strong is it? How easy is it to set that up? Because I've seen some people chat about this on LinkedIn, and I think Andy Binkley over at Toriel is someone who I'll give a shout out. Andy posted something maybe a week ago, and it popped up in my newsfeed, and he was talking about, look, how helping your buyer understand how easy it is to integrate is something that a lot of SaaS websites simply don't do. And there was a comment talking about, yeah, we integrate with Salesforce, but it's literally we just update one field within Salesforce and that's it, right? And that's a classic, right? We integrate with Salesforce. Sure you do. Like that one itty bitty thing, which is maybe a drop in the ocean that is Salesforce. Sure, you may integrate with Salesforce, but you don't really. So that is something where we're looking for quality and quantity of information. The quantity is, who do you integrate with? The quality is, how do you integrate? And can you explain that to me or even show me how that integration works? In this case, they don't have that information. These are hyperlinks. If I click on it, you will see that it is a page needing to be developed, right? So right now, this is not helping them at all. Again, we are looking at early stage startup kind of stuff, and it looks like they're building this in real time. So with apologies to the Equitable team, I know I'm highlighting maybe something that when you see this video, it's already built out, right? So maybe go to eqtble.com and check it out for yourself and kind of see how they are building that up. Overall, however, I do appreciate the above the fold experience, right? This is one of the stronger above the folds. I've come to your website and then bam, this just feels like it hits all the right notes. It makes me want to click see it in action. It makes me, you're getting me a lot of the correct information up front. That information is not fully built out yet. I will readily acknowledge that. I think the CTA is maybe misleading because seeing it in action is not actually what happens when I click on that button, right? We need consistent CTAs. We could absolutely update the title tag for the homepage. You can even see right there to get a little bit more impactful in Google when somebody searches for this. So there are certainly areas where it could be improved, even just small changes that can have major impact on a buyer's journey. However, overall, I think the foundation is there, right? It's just being built upon in real time right now. But the foundation is there, absolutely there. And I think it's a pretty solid one. So hopefully you find this interesting. If you agree, disagree, leave a comment, let me know. Feel free to reach out on LinkedIn. My name is Caleb Rule, last name Rule. You can also check us out, Rule Marketing Group, which is ruleyourcompetition.com. Links in the description. We'll also have a link to eqtble.com in the description as well if you want to go check out this site on your own. And as usual, no affiliation with Equitable or with any of the other companies that we're doing these videos for. And hopefully you've enjoyed this and you found this kind of thought-provoking for your own digital experiences that you're providing your customers. So any questions you have, feel free to reach out. We've got more videos up on YouTube, more to come. So looking forward to seeing you in the next video. And until then, have a good one.